There we go. Hey folks, welcome back to an all new edition of the Grando show. I'm coming in hot. Thank God for air conditioning because it's hot. Yeah, it's not humid. The air's hot. The actual air is hot. But my building's climate controlled and so it helps a lot. Like to start the show how I always start the show. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's safe. Hope everybody's turning that corner in life. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm coming in hot. Got a real good show for y'all. I'm gonna try out some of this new material. Yeah, I got a really good show for y'all. Pretty psyched. I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy about the last show. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Relationships are hard. Relationships are hard to maintain. You know, you're seeing a lot of marriages breaking up this past year, and you know, 90% of relationships end in sweats. Because I mean, let's face it, you can be pretty as hell, but they all look the same in sweats. And you know, sweatpants are really fun to wear. You know, really fun to wear. I enjoy sweatpants. And I would like to invent a cologne called "Come to Me." Sorry, I don't know if you're catching that train pass. There's a train passing right now. See if we can just let it pass, because I can hear it in my headphones. Yeah, it sucks. uh, yeah, I like to invent a cologne called "Come to Me." So when somebody asks me what's the cologne called, I can say it's called "Come to Me," and then I can say, "Does it smell like come to you?" Because it's come. Cheers, salut, everybody. Yeah, Matt Damon has been everywhere lately on the news and just plugging away. Everywhere I turn, Matt Damon is there. Matt Damon is there. And I just, I feel like he'd be the best Matt Damon in London, probably, right? Because, he can be himself. He can just, ask for cigarettes left and right in London and not be judged, you know. Uh, but everybody loves Matt Damon, right? Everybody loves Matt Damon, you know. I mean, he downplays it a lot, but he's a great actor, I suppose. All right, and that was the set. I want to talk about first thing I like to talk about is first of all, cheers and salute, everybody. August. Made it to August. What I would like to talk about today is the cheap seats. It made me think about because like the other day I went out, to the watering spot, and watering hole, whatever you want to call it, and there was a couple of people that I know, that I hang out with, they had there's only so much outdoor seating right now at that place, and so, there's a few of us had to sit and, kind of far away from, the main table there, and it was like, I was like, hey, I see, I was like, someone made a comment, like, you guys are in the cheap seats today. I was like, yeah, I need a sign, hold up a sign, say, hey, I'm over here. But it made me remember, going to baseball games, and you know, I've been to four different baseball stadiums, but I've been to Dodger Stadium more than once. I mean, more than. I mean, I'm definitely a Dodger fan, but so the thing is, like a lot of the better cheap seats are at the left field pavilion, and that's where we would go, and you got to know people, and especially like the even the third tier, those seats are pretty cheap, but you're up there. You know what I'm saying? You're Dodger Stadium's pretty ginormous. I mean, but left field pavilion was it's one of those places where anything and everything can happen. It's just it's the total backyard of Dodger Stadium, to where you know like every crease has like a their own cheering section from a neighborhood that it's like I mean, you just see it, everything, like people barbecuing and people like just getting bruised up, and babies being born, and kids walking around, fucking holding parades and shit through the aisles. But it's a fun time because you get the same people sit there, a lot, so you get to recognize a lot of people. God forbid you wore a jersey from the opposing team, because you probably get some popcorn thrown at you, to say the least. But it's a good time. It's fun, you know. And it was one of those things where getting tickets to Dodger games would be like a friend of a friend would find some, or somebody would have season tickets they don't need, and it was just like, hey, you want to go to the games? Like, fuck it, let's go. You know. And the thing about Dodger Stadium, it sits on top of like a little, like a hill, and it's like right in the middle of East Los Angeles. That's why they call it Chavez Ravine, because East LA. It's where the Chicanos live. So but it's like carved out of the top of a mountain. So you travel up, and there's actually a back way in, but I'm not gonna be sitting here telling the secrets of getting through the main line there. But um it's cool when you go the back way, because you see a lot of the old architecture, what East Los looked like back then. So it's cool. But the story I wanted to tell was the one time that my friend had gotten tickets to Dodger Stadium, and he took his two daughters, and he didn't really tell me too much. He just said that I think it was somebody's birthday, but he got him a long time ago, and he was telling me, hey, I got an extra ticket. Do you want to go? Like, I know this guy, for a long time. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah. So so we went, and he didn't tell me where they were. I just remember going to a section of Dodge Stadium that I had never been in, which is the bottom tier. And I remember that our seats were so good. I can remember people looking at us, like eyes were on us. Like it was almost like, what are you guys doing here? Sit in this section. It was like we were one row behind the the very bottom three rows where they have like servers. You know what I'm saying? And it was amazing. I've never been that close. You know, my seats. I've never gotten seats that good before, and so it was crazy. The one thing that really stood out was that they were playing the Mets, and there was four Mets fans sitting right behind us, and they were irritating as fuck because they were singing all the jingles, but they lost because Johan Santana was pitching that day. I saw Johan Santana pitching. And when Johan was still Johan and fucking lights out, you know, and I think it was still yeah, Angel or not Angel Pagan was playing center field for the Mets at that time, right before he got traded to the Giants, and he was never that good. Once he went to the Giants, he just started balling for some reason. He just started clicking, you know, but he was playing center field, and I remember him going up to, you know, the bottom row and signing autographs and shit, you know. And but I was heckling him a little bit, you know. And I think for the Dodgers, I think I'm not sure, but I think Brad Penny was pitching. It's definitely a pitcher's duel. But anyways, Johan was striking everybody out at that time like it was nobody's business. So, but you know, it's really cool, you know, when I catch a game now, and I see people in the stands, and it's really, you know, it's really cool to see. I mean, some people. I mean, definitely from where we were last year to still having people attend games, and it's summertime, and they should be able to do that, especially in an open air stadium. It's just cool to see. I mean, you know, you know, from not having any fans in the stadiums last year to seeing fans this year, and I get chills, you know, whenever I catch a game or some highlights, and you hear the crowd just fucking start roaring, you know what I'm saying, because something's happening, and you see like Mary Hart in the very bottom, like in her seat, you know, because I don't know if people knew who Mary Hart is, but she used to be on Entertainment Tonight. But she's a diehard Dodger fan since I can remember. And she sits right behind home plate every time. You know, you can spot her out for fucking blonde hair. You know, but it's always cool to see her there. And I honestly, just like Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman would always be at games. I would always catch him, or they would always show him, you know, every once in a while on the Tron or whatever, or during commercials. But Jason Bateman too, diehard Dodger fan, who would always try to go to games, and it's really cool to see. I mean, just people in the stands and people enjoying the game and just listening to the roar of that crowd. I think last year really put things in perspective for like the casual fan like me, who just felt like, you know, like watching baseball is almost like a privilege, you know, and it's a privilege to play that game, and it's a privilege to watch it sometimes because you see, you know, baseball being played at the highest level, you know, and I love the game. I mean, a lot of people will give it slack, give it shit because it's like not very like snappy. It's not very, but I can always, be happy, really happy with watching a few innings here and there. And I mean, when I have time, So I just don't like it when people say that it's boring and then nothing happens because things things happen. Just like routine plays. That look real easy. Sometimes they're just not routine at all, and some people have to make a play on the ball or try and come up with a clutch hit and extend the inning. It's just little things like that. Just it's not that I don't think people catch. It's just like maybe it is people that they don't. It's like you know the batting order and pitch counts and you know runners in scoring position and the position of the outfield and I don't know. It's just there's so many things that go into it and turning the double play. Uh, Advancing a runner. The sacrifice fly. You know, uh, Something that the Japanese do in Japan. I was watching the documentary on the Japanese baseball thing on the Olympics, and they were saying how in Japan, in baseball, they to sacrifice bunt, it would be like the highest form of respect or something. And I was like, all right, cool. I mean, it's small ball. It's small ball, and it's something that they hold sacred too. And there's something to that. That's all I'm saying. And I mean, we're not talking about we're not talking about like going all out and snow coning baseball. That's hit over your head. We're talking about just a sack bunt to move the player over, and so. But it's a thing though. It's like it's a very it's a very small like it's a very small part of the game that goes unnoticed that maybe it looks real easy when you see it happen, but the pitchers that are throwing that ball are professionals, so they can spin it this way and that way to try and make it go, but yeah. So anyways, I enjoy it, and I think I appreciate baseball more this year than I did last year, just because maybe we didn't have it last year. We had people have to remember that everything stopped for a while. Everything stopped, all sports. And it took a lot of balls for people to get back into it. I mean, not just balls. I mean, you have to fucking have a little bit of common sense and be like, this needs to happen. This you need this to happen. Everybody needs to be on the same page. You know what I'm saying, for us to go through and move forward. But yeah, um, you know, I'm baseball's a long season, and I'm glad that it's a long season this year because I get to catch a lot of good games. Um, I think, yeah, but those tickets I got that one time against in Dodger Stadium was the best tickets that I've ever had to any kind of sports events. Right. Well, so we're gonna segue right into my top five list. It's gonna be a quick show, y'all. Yeah, it's gonna be a quick one. So we're gonna go right into my top five list. So these are the top five sports records that I don't think will be broken anytime soon. I mean, ever. It's hard to say that these records won't be broken because records are meant to be broken, right? But I honestly feel like this list that I have here, it's close to impossible to break these records. I mean, these sports records are so unfathomable to think about that I don't think anybody is going to come close to breaking these records anytime soon. All right, so let's just get right into it. Okay, from the NFL, number five, most yards from scrimmage by a running back is Emmitt Smith with 18,355 yards. Now, the second runner up is Sweetness. Playing with Chicago Bears, 1987, 16,726 yards. Um, Emmitt Smith, of course, played with the Cowboys, the Cowboys dynasty. Um, so that's about there's a 2,000 yard difference there. Okay. So yeah, I mean that's the second person runner up is from 1987, and I just don't think that running backs are they're not used the same anymore. So I don't think that record is gonna go anywhere. Number four, most starts in the NFL. And number one, everybody knows him, everybody loves him. Brett Favre, 297 starts, consecutive starts. And the second runner-up to that is some guy named Jim Marshall from 1961, and he's got 270 defensive end. So that's 270 to 297 for Brett Favre. I mean, what can you say about Brett Favre is that he came from nowhere. That streak is so incredible. Just the physicality of the NFL and the strain it puts on your body, to start that many games in a row. It's no small task, and I don't think there's anybody close to that right now. Number three, most starts in the MLB, going back to baseball. And the Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr., 1998, 2,632. That's 2,632 consecutive starts. The second runner-up to that number is from 1939, Lou Gehrig, with 2,130 starts, consecutive starts. I think this speaks more to like the business side of the MLB these days, because I think that if you came up with a club, Like with a baseball club, you definitely, you retired from that same club. Um, Cal Ripken Jr. does have one championship, I believe, against the Reds, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, the second runner-up is from 1939. That just goes to show you, there's nobody in the past 2 centuries that have even come close to that number. My number two. Oh no, my number two is most baseball games with a base hit. And everybody knows this one. Everybody knows this one. It's the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio, 1941, 56. 56 games. And there's a tie for number two. For the second runner-up is from 1978, Pete Rose, and Willie Keeler from 1997. And they both hit in 44 consecutive games. I mean, what can you say about Joe DiMaggio? Just mired in, just he's always going to be known as one of the greatest players of all time, and not just that, just his whole legacy about dating Maryland and what it was like to live and play for the Yankees at that time must have been something like otherworldly, And so I think what people don't remember about him is that he's from like Orange County or something. Yeah, he's like from the San Fernando Valley, right? And just like Ted Williams, who had that awesome, career with the Red Sox, he was from San Diego. And so, that's a shout out Ted Williams, who didn't make the list, but DiMaggio's definitely Italian, but he wasn't from New York. He was from California, somewhere. I even want to say San Francisco. I think he was from San Francisco. Yeah, he was from San Francisco, California. And Ted Williams, if I'm correct, was from San Diego. Now his father, I think, might have been, and he might have been a military brat, but I'm pretty sure I remember him being from San Diego. But yeah, everybody knows the Yankee Clipper. One of the best baseball players of all time. And my number one record that will never be broken anytime soon is the most championships, MLB championships. And I don't even have to. Everybody knows who it is. It's the Yankees. The Yankees have 27 championships. And now the second runner-up to that number is the St. Louis Cardinals with 11. So they would need to peel off 16 more championships and then have the Yankees not win any in the next 17 years for them to catch them. And that's the highest. I mean, that's one record that I don't think it's ever going to be broken whatsoever. And a lot of people want to talk about the Red Sox Yankees rivalry, but it really wasn't a rivalry for a long time. And look at the Cubs. It took them a long time to break that curse too. but they did it, and people love it. You know. For my money, I've been saying it since day one. For my money, the best rivalry in sports history is the Lakers and Celtics, just because of the championships, because of the personnel, the logo, and all that shit. I just, for my money, it always has been, always will be the best rivalry in sports. So there you go. Now I feel real good about that list because it's just something I've been thinking about for a long time. And like I said, it's just one of those things where I believe that records are meant to be broken, but I just don't see anybody breaking these records anytime soon. Yeah. So that's the show. That's the fucking show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh Lord, that was a quick one for y'all. That was a quick one, but I still wanna pump these out. Things are changing. Things are changing. Uh, I'm really grateful that they are changing. I just wanna, I just wanna send a special shout out to people who made it a point to stay consistent, during this pandemic and try to, just trying to keep everybody like, reassure people that they're doing fine, and everybody who try to put their best face forward, because it wasn't easy. I know it was very I was really touch and go for a while with my what I was doing. Just I was having issues, just trying to think about my future and what I've been doing with my life now. So but it's not easy. It's not easy. I think you know what I think though? I think circumstances change. But I don't think people change. I don't think people change. Circumstances change, and you may have to adjust to things, this and that. But if you're the same person you were, when everything started, then you're you know what you're very sure of yourself, and you're sure of what you want. If that's happiness, if that's sadness, if it's like relationships, happiness, whatever it is, if you don't let circumstances change you, then you're ahead of everybody. Like you shouldn't let things change you. Like me, I'm an open book. You just gotta get past the first chapter. But I don't know. I can't call it, y'all. I'm about to get out of here. Shows are coming. Believe it. Shows are coming. Things are happening. Hopefully, I'll have more of an update, but really looking forward to turning another corner in my life, and looking forward to what's happening. But you guys be good, and we'll see y'all later. All right. One love, y'all. Peace.